custom automotive industry is known for its beautifully shaped cars. Some are old restorations, while others are an invention all of their own. Knowing custom metal fabrication is essential to producing these one-of-a-kind vehicles. WyoTech instructor Randy Felina is going to demonstrate some of the essential skills behind the craft.
Hi, I'm Randy. Today we're going to talk about some of the things in the custom car world. A lot of times we're building things that have never been done before. That's one of the greatest challenges and one of the greatest skills in the custom car world today. We're going to look at some of the skills that it takes to be able to do that. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to have to fix that.
While Randy mourns his shattered dreams of breakfast, he starts in on making a new cereal bowl by cutting a 10-inch square out of steel.
Hey, there we go. Sometimes you just got to learn to put your foot down. Okay, so we've got our piece of material cut, and now we need to talk a little bit about different material thicknesses and properties of that. So I just grabbed another scrap piece here so we can look at some differences. The material has actually got kind of a crystalline structure. An analogy that I use is it's like having a bunch of Legos put together. That structure on the thicker piece, these Legos are layered up. The thinner one, Legos are still layered up, but there's not as many of them stacked in there. And we're going to take the Legos and make a wider pattern of them that will thin the material out, but it's going to have to take on a new shape for it to be able to do that. So by taking the material and making part of it thinner, and we're actually going to make some of it a little bit thicker, that is actually going to force it into changing shape. That's going to resemble that of a bowl, which will be the start of what we get into compound metal shaping. And to make a bowl, we're going to need to start with a circular shape. So we're going to use one of my favorite tools in the whole wide world, the Beverly shear. I'll make a rough cut about 1/4 of an inch away from my final cut line, and then we'll come back in and do a final cut at 10 inches. Okay, now we're going to use the English wheel to start the process of changing the crystalline structure, or basically again moving our Legos. So as I move the English wheel back and forth, what it is doing is just simply applying a little bit of pressure to our steel. I'm going to increase the tension on it, and as we run it, all that's happening between these two rollers is it is compressing the crystalline structure, forcing them to take out a larger area. The material where we're working in the middle here is being pressed down thinner. Now remember that we haven't done anything on this outside edge right now. This has been made thinner. This is still the original thickness. So what's happening is our structure, again the Legos, have started to try to find a place to go. This is changing shape, but it's held by the material around it. So this is referred to as an oil can. This is starting to take on a little bit of a shape. Let's add a little bit more to it.
After Randy gets the initial bowl shape made on the English wheel, he's ready to accelerate the process with a hard-hitting method.
Okay, now using techniques that are over 100 years old, which is roughly my age, we will speed process up a little bit on moving the Legos around. So quite literally, when you see some of the cars that were built in the teens and 20s, the coach-built cars, really high-end things like the Duesenbergs and things of that nature, it was really a bunch of guys standing around in England or different parts of Europe or the United States with pretty basic tools like this, and they were creating body panels out of them. Now we put a few bumps into it, so now what we're going to do is planish or smooth out a little bit of the damage. So this is going to be a much lighter hammer blow, and what I'm doing is taking our bigger bumps we had in there and just smoothing them out a little bit. We've got the pretty good shape of a bowl going here, but as we've stretched this material out here, we have some extra material that doesn't quite know where to go yet. So we have a little bit of a bottle cap shape to it. So we need to come over to the shrinker And we're going to use the shrinker to take that material. And as we go into this, it is gathering that material and bunching it up. So now that we've ran this material through the shrinker, we've taken that bottle cap effect and we've put it into a more uniform spot. We've given ourselves a smoother edge and gotten rid of some of that bottle cap effect right there. We have a much nicer transition on our bowl. This is in a little bit better place right now. The metal's also more relaxed, so it's going to hold that shape better for us as well.
Randy continues to smooth out the metal contours of the bowl with the English wheel.
Okay, looks like we've done pretty well with it. We ran it through a couple more tools, decided to add a little bit of shape to it on the bottom here so it didn't walk all over on the table. But we have made a bowl, and you can actually see how using the basic hand tools that we did, we could very accurately replicate some of the things that we might need to on an actual automobile. We did it with a little bit of hands-on labor, changing the thickness of the metal to give it a new shape.
With the bowl fixed, Randy's ready for breakfast.
Okay, I finally fixed my bowl. As we know, breakfast is the most important meal. All right, thanks. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out our other videos for more tech tips and content.